Feels like it's been a while since we've had some private time together. So let's go hog wild. Let's review 2 games. Well, both games I'm going to talk to you about are pretty different. There's something they have in common that is absolutely glorious. If you're time poor, like me, they are both completable over a couple of sessions and they're both on Switch, but what isn't these days? Up first we're going to look at Gato Roboto, a brand new Metroid inspired game from Doinksoft. If you've been living in isolation on a tiny Scottish island and aren't aware of Gato Roboto, but have decided upon returning to civilization to check out our website, in this game you play as a cat in a mech suit, whose mission is to help you save your owner and get off a hostile alien planet. Like the bonny Metroid games of yore, as you play you unlock different abilities for your mech suit, like rockets, double jumps, and the now ubiquitous phase slide. As you explore the planet, you'll make use of your abilities, fighting some pretty fun looking enemies and some cracking bosses. Now, a lot of these Metroidvania style games, there's not always a lot that deviates from what you'd expect, but Gato Roboto has a neat little trick up its... pause? You see, being in a mech suit is great, but how can you fit in through tiny wee doorways or float around in water? Well, you can't, and you need to get over that. As a wee cat, however, you can do those things, so you'll need to get out of the suit and get prowling. While out of the suit you can climb walls, jump a little bit higher, and get around in water, but being pretty much a normal cat means that you're vulnerable. One hit and you're dead. The sections where you're out of the suit are exciting and challenging, making you rely more on having a wee bit of skill rather than just bumbling through each area. As a bumbler naturally, these sections took me a wee while, but they were never unfair, which is important. You'll probably be able to run and gun your way through Gato Roboto in about 4 or 5 hours, meaning it doesn't outstay its welcome or risk too much repetition. For a game that costs roughly the same as a baguette from an upmarket coffee shop, you really can't ask for more. Moving on, in super slow motion, we have My Friend Pedro, the latest game from Dead Toast Entertainment, and honestly, this game has been on my radar for quite a long time. What started as a kind of Matrix-looking inspired Flash game has evolved into one of the coolest looking shooting games since John Woo's Stranglehold. My Friend Pedro has you playing as a nameless flurry of bullets and acrobatics whose only friend appears to be Pedro, a talking banana. That's pretty much it for the plot, but what it lacks in narrative excellence it makes up for in extreme violence and puzzle-based murder. It's a bit like The Incredible Machine meets John Wick. Each level in My Friend Pedro is an excuse to try out your slow motion gun acrobatics, copyright me, and it's hellishly good fun. As you run about you get the chance to experiment with different weapons, environmental hazards, a skateboard and sometimes just a frying pan. The limit on how cool the game can look is really down to how deftly you can manipulate your wee chap. I'll be honest though, this feels like a game that probably plays best when you can use a mouse, as the aiming can be a bit fiddly on Switch. Thankfully the game will help occasionally with some gentle nudging, but at times I found the accuracy to be a little off. I'll also add that I have daft hands, so take this piece of criticism with a pinch of banana. The real beauty of the game, a lot like Gato Roboto, is taking from plenty of games that you've played before, like the Flash game Madness comes to mind for example, but it adds a level of polish and humour that a lot of these games tend to miss. While some of the collision detection can cause a few slightly unfair deaths, the checkpoints are generous and the levels are short enough to encourage replays for better scores. The inventiveness keeps the game feeling fresh and makes you feel like you're maybe not totally shit at shooting games. The platforming sections can vary between great fun and very basic, but the variety they add is welcome. One thing I would say that I wasn't a huge fan of were the boss fights. For the most part, they outstay their welcome and I kinda devoid the sense of fun that permeates through the rest of the game. It's a shame, but when you replay the levels, you can just fucking skip them, just like you'd skip through a podcast advert for a mattress. So there you go, 2 brand new games that are great fun, not time consuming and affordable. While neither of them hides from the fact that they follow closely in the steps of their predecessors, the changes they make help to freshen up the established formulas and give you a wee taste of something different. It's like adding a wee mystery ingredient into a cheese and ham sandwich. Will it be some onion? Maybe a grape or 2? Or possibly just some Lego? Trust me, take a bite and find out.